We're live again, and football season is over. So we have to come up with things to do in the off season. We're going to be doing the very, very important work this week of power ranking Super Bowl halftime shows.
Yeah, Super Bowl
Does this count
halftime
as
shows.
does this count as jumping the shark?
I guess
We're just doing stuff to do stuff. I don't know. I kind of got the idea for doing this because during the Super Bowl, the Kendrick Lamar's halftime show was going on, and I got into not like a heated argument, but an argument with John about whether it was any good or not. And I'll explain my opinion about it here in a little bit. But my thought process was like, it might be kind of interesting to see how everybody feels about the different halftime shows. Daniel Barry Sports Highlights says, "Yo, what's up?"
Happy birthday.
Oh, it's your birthday. There you go. Right on. Happy birthday. Um, so, so yeah, happy birthday, and we will talk about these. It looks like this only goes up to let's see, was Rihanna last year?
No, last year it was Usher.
Usher, okay. So this is two behind then. Okay. Well, we'll just say those, I guess. Or maybe I can, I don't know. Maybe I can find a different one.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. But I feel like a lot of the recent Super Bowl halftime shows are more my speed. Like Michael Jackson and Deanna Ross, like those two, I feel like were the best from the '90s.
Uh-huh.
But
Well, the reason I say all of them is because, not like. I don't. I'll be honest with you. I don't care that much about like, that country show in '94. We'll get to it, but it was pretty stupid. Um, but like Michael Jackson's performance was iconic, so I feel like we kind of have to start with him.
it was, and I
So,
feel like that's the first time they actually gave a damn.
in the Super Bowl halftime show,
Yeah,
well, sort of. I think. So we can actually go ahead and start, um, since we're talking about it anyway. So I'm going to go ahead and put that one in S tier. Do you agree with that?
yeah. Are you gonna like put the graphic up or
What graphic? Oh crap.
like the,
Yeah. Sorry. There we go.
the
Okay.
rankings or whatever?
So
There we go.
this, as a reminder, this one only goes to 2023, but we have these. There's another one somebody made that's got these. So, this has Kendrick Lamar and Usher on there. So Usher's here. So we can use this as for graphic things, but for now we're gonna stay over here. Um, yeah. So so I'm thinking. I mean, like Michael Jackson's performance. The thing is that started the Super Bowl halftime show being what it is. Like you're like that's the first year they gave a damn. I don't entirely agree with that. Like before Michael Jackson, they gave a damn. They tried to put crazy stuff on for the Super Bowl. And in fact, there were some really interesting Super Bowls that or Super Bowl halftime performances that weren't. I wouldn't quite rank them at the level of grandeur that some of these performances are. But they were interesting. They did cool stuff. But like this was the first time they tried to make it into like like celebrities and spectacle into like what we currently think of today as the Super Bowl. Kind of started with Michael Jackson doing the halftime show in '93.
Yeah, yeah. I agree with that. It's just that it's like they were trying to be like I don't know, like you know how like a lot of like college football teams
Uh huh.
at their halftime shows they have like a band, and then it's like they go on the field. That's basically what it was. Like obviously I didn't watch all of those halftime shows because that would have been too much work. So but from what I was seeing, it was a lot of band type of stuff from the most of the stuff that I saw.
Yeah. So like let's see the first one they had it was a University of Arizona marching. So it was just a bunch of marching bands in the first one, um, and the first three were all like that. Well, the first five were all like that. And then the Marine Corps drill team did it in '72 with like a salute to Louis Armstrong. Another marching band, another marching band. Yeah, it was all marching bands. What is up with people?
Fun fact: Louis Armstrong from New Orleans.
Yes, well, I mean, a lot of great artists are from New Orleans. Like a lot of great jazz was born in New Orleans.
He made the. I don't know if you know this. Well, you probably do. But he made that iconic song. Um, when the Saints go marching in. Fun fact: that song has nothing to do with the Saints football team.
Well, yeah. I don't. Like. I'm pretty sure he made that song before the Saints were a thing.
Sure did.
Okay. Yeah, just all marching bands.
Yeah, they had to ask the Archbishop for the name.
Was Yeah, they had like a in '89 they had like an Elvis impersonator, and that was like the first time they did something that wasn't just like a random ass marching band. It was like a really big, like highly produced show, but it was also an Elvis impersonator, so it was kind of dumb.
That's nice.
And then they went back to marching bands, and then they had in '91 they had the New Kids on the Block, which that was the first time they tried to do something like this. But obviously, a boy band from the '90s didn't quite, well, early '90s, so like basically late '80s, that didn't quite hit the it didn't quite hit the same notes that Michael Jackson would, who was like, literally the biggest star in the entire planet at the time.
Yeah.
And then they had that stupid like winter magic show that like I'm pretty sure like to this day people still talk about that as like one of the worst halftime shows that you could really come up with. And so I think it was after that they're like, okay, we got to get it right this year, and they got Michael Jackson, and he fucking killed it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm not gonna lie. At first, the Michael Jackson performance, because like at first when I looked at it, it was kind of weird because all you saw was him just looking at air and just everybody, and he would not move his body for like almost a minute. But then I was like, okay, it was probably just like he's probably, it was probably just that time where all the fans just started basically just chanting and this and that shit because like ain't nobody saw Jackson like that before.
He was hyping the crowd up is what he was doing. But
Yeah.
I mean, like, even that to this day is iconic. Like people still reference that in pop culture, like just staring out on stage. And like I think Family Guy did a bit where he was just like they had somebody just like staring, and it lasted for like 5 minutes entirely, like way longer than Michael Jackson did it for. It was literally just to drive the whole point home.
Bro, it felt like 5 minutes.
Yeah. All right. So Michael Jackson killed it. Set the Super Bowl halftime show for what it is today. The following year, they definitely regressed a little bit. They got Clint Black, and the Judds and a couple others, to do like a country show, and it wasn't like. Look, just to be clear, I'm not a big country fan, but I also think like if I'm gonna stay consistent with the argument I was having with John, I'm gonna try to be objective, as far as like how it was as a show, instead of talking about whether I like that kind of music or not, right? So I don't really like country. There's some country I can kind of get into, but for the most part, I'm really not a country guy. But like this show is just like, and maybe in '94 it was fine because like you'd only had like Michael Jackson. You had Michael Jackson. Other than that, it's not like the Super Bowl halftime show was all that big of a thing anyway. So maybe at the time it would have been an interesting show, but like looking back, I mean, I would personally put that in like D tier.
D tier is correct.
Okay. TBM Gaming says I liked that one probably because I like country. Well, that's fair. You can like country, and I'm not saying like it's you couldn't possibly enjoy it. I mean, even if I put something in F, it's not saying that you can't enjoy it. It's trying to be like a critique, like an artistic critique. Like how did because I mean, some of the things I say are not necessarily going to reflect my opinion of the music. In fact, I got one in mind that we'll talk about later that I thought was honestly a really good show, and I don't like the music at all. But we'll get to that.
Yeah, I like country.
Uh-huh.
I like the Morgan Wallens. I like the Post Malones. I like the Boozies or whatever his name is. But that show, I don't know what country was at that time, but that was not it for me. I'm sorry.
I don't. Well, that did you say Post Malone?
And doesn't he do country?
No, he's rap.
Oh, yeah.
Like,
well, I don't know. I saw him doing some. Where was I?
Post Malone. What? Jordan says, I just know what. Oh, yeah.
I don't know. Maybe it's because he sounds like a country singer. Huh?
Yeah, Jordan, we're about a decade away from that one. We'll get to that one.
What the what?
The when Janet Jackson had her like boob slip out.
Oh yeah. I got some stuff to say about that, but we're gonna save that for later.
Yeah, we'll get there. Post Malone's. According to TBM Gaming, Post Malone has done some country. I honestly don't care. I literally if Post Malone did a halftime show, I guess I would have had to watch it to do this. But I literally could care. I don't know if I could possibly care less about Post Malone. I do not give a shit about Post Malone. I just don't. I just do not. He could quit tomorrow, and I would have no opinion.
I mean, I like Post Malone. Just because you say that does not mean I'm gonna want to chop your head off. But
I don't hate Post Malone. I just don't care about him. I have nothing to say about Post Malone.
Yeah, I mean, I really like the song that he did with Morgan Wallen. I feel like Morgan Wallen's probably like my most favorite country singer out there. But yeah.
I like what's that song by Florida Georgia Line?
I don't know.
I don't really like country, but that song's okay.
My mom hates country with a passion. Like she says that she would rather do drugs than listen to country.
I listen to some country rap, and by country rap I really mean white trash rap. And when I say white trash rap, I mean literally they're just rapping about being in a trailer. And it's just funny.
Well, I'm not a big rap fan.
I like rap. My main genre is metal. And there's some decent country metal. But most of the time, if there's if there's a dual genre thing going on there, for whatever reason, rap and country tend to kind of overlay a lot. I'm not entirely sure why, but whatever.
But yeah, I'm not a big rap fan. I like guys like Eminem. I like him. But that's about it. Lil Wayne is alright, but that's about it.
I've never been the biggest Lil Wayne fan. I always found him boring.
I won't say I would choose to listen to Lil Wayne, but if a Lil Wayne song was on, I wouldn't cry about it. Basically, if I don't even know who exists there. I don't really hate music. At all. I don't like rap, but I don't hate rap. Kendrick Lamar, he's alright, but guys like that, J. Cole, he's alright, but that's about it.
Yeah, Thomas is a big J. Cole fan, but I mean, I think J. Cole's from Cleveland, so that's part of it.
I mean, that's probably why I like a little bit of Lil Wayne, probably.
Is he from New Orleans?
Yeah, that's why a lot of people thought he should have been the halftime show this year.
Well, he's I don't know if he'd even want to do the halftime show. Also,
yeah, but
well, then again, they had Eminem. I was about to say I don't know how appropriate Lil Wayne would be, but they had Eminem, so this. I don't know if you can get more inappropriate than Eminem.
Yeah, Lil Wayne, that's why a lot of people thought Lil Wayne should have did the halftime show over Kendrick Lamar, knowing Lil Wayne. That's why they got somebody That's why they got John Baptiste to do the national anthem because it was a New Orleans guy. So
I really enjoyed that, by the way. That was really cool.
What, the national anthem?
Yeah, John Baptiste doing it.
Yeah, bro, man, John Baptiste. Like, I didn't grow up listening to him, but the songs that I've heard, man, that dude got me on. Man, during the national anthem, man, he had me wanting to take my hand off my shoulder and start dancing. That's how fired up he had me for that Super Bowl.
Yeah, some of the holy shit, Tyler the Creator's from Cincinnati.
What now?
What? Hold on. I'm on a rabbit hole. I promise I'm coming back soon. But like, hold on a minute. Now this says he was born in Hawthorne, California. Why did it say he was from Cincinnati?
Maybe he grew up in Cincinnati, but he was born in California.
Hold on.
Because like a lot of people are born somewhere that they're not really.
I just did a search on his Wikipedia page for the word Cincinnati and it didn't come up. So I think Google's high. Because I did a Google search for like list of rappers from Cincinnati and Tyler the Creator was on there and I'm like, what? Since when?
I don't know. Maybe he really enjoys the city of Cincinnati.
Okay, it's got Ja Rule on here too. I'm almost positive that's wrong. I think Google is full of, yeah, he's from Queens. What?
Well, to be fair, before the Super Bowl, I asked Google who's going to win the Super Bowl this year, and they said the Kansas City Chiefs. So yeah, you can never trust Google. Never.
I mean, I know Cat Williams, but he's more of a stand-up guy than a rapper.
Yeah, Cat Williams. Yeah, he's a stand-up guy. I do enjoy his stand-up, so I'll tell you that.
He's pretty good. We've got the infamous D Mob and Fat John. You know who those guys are, Mikey?
I know Fat Joe.
Oh, okay. I don't know Fat Joe. Also, I wanted to say I'm a Steelers fan. Okay, well, you're already off on the wrong foot here. But I do like the Bengals and... Wait, how? What? Okay. You do you.
Divisional rivals.
They're the only team in the division I don't hate. Well, I'm sorry, I can't reciprocate that. I mean, if you're going to be here, then... I appreciate you. You're always welcome. Anybody's welcome here, even Steelers fans. But no, I have a. If you're here any length of time, you'll discover I have a personal, visceral hatred of the Steelers. So, but I enjoy Steelers fans who like my show though. So,
I enjoy the city of Atlanta. You see, now we're all getting it.
Hey, you know what? To be fair, every time I go to Pittsburgh, I always eat really good, like Primanti's, delicious.
Yeah, I was in Atlanta for like 4 days last year, and I was like, wait, the Falcons are from here? Man, they need to leave Atlanta because the Atlanta don't deserve them.
I've never been to Atlanta. I've never been I guess I went to Florida a couple times when I was like a little kid, but since I was like really able to do anything on my own. Like, I mean, since I was probably like 10 years old, I don't think I've been south of Tennessee, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, but honestly, I will say this though. The one thing I did not like about Atlanta was the weather. I will say that. I don't know why, but looking at those clouds made me want to fight somebody.
What? I mean, I guess I just don't know, but like, how is the weather all that much different in Atlanta than it is in New Orleans? I mean, I'm guessing it might be muggier in New Orleans.
Yeah, but I don't know why. Just something about being outside in Atlanta just did not make me feel welcome.
Well, that's how I feel about being outside literally anywhere in the South. Like, y'all's weather is awful. I hate it. I mean, it's like literally it's literally like 12 degrees. Actually, it might even be lower than that right now. Well, no, it's actually higher. It's currently 16 degrees right now, and I would take this all fucking the entire rest of the universe, like every like minute of existence that exists. I'll take this weather over that bullshit y'all have in the South.
Yeah, I know. Trust me, I'm not a fan of it either. Like, bro, with all the hurricanes, with the freaking tornadoes, like, bro, earlier today it fell in my hand. Bro, as soon as I stepped outside, it fell on my hands. We're about to freeze off my body, dude.
I was just talking about the heat, like the heat and the mugginess. Like,
Dude,
I would
if
not
you
want to
can't
live like
handle
that.
the heat, you definitely won't be able to handle the cold.
I can handle the cold though.
Not down here. Like down here, literally sometimes, like New Orleans it's either too hot or it's too cold. It's never in between. Never. Like maybe a couple weeks during December, but that's about it.
That's really strange. I've never heard of New Orleans having cold weather problems, other than like
Why
for
do you
New
think it
Orleans.
snowed?
Do what?
Why do you think it snowed a couple weeks ago?
Well, yeah. Apparently, you guys had some snow, but that's what I'm saying. Snow is weird to you guys.
Exactly, but like
And we have
it's either
like
too
snow
hot
is
or
like
too cold, dude.
like we literally have an entire season of the year where we just expect it to snow most of the time. And that's not unique
bro,
to Cincinnati. That's just anywhere, north of the Mason-Dixon line.
I've witnessed snow 3 times in my life.
That's really strange to me. It was snowing.
Like,
It was snowing earlier today. I had to like scrape it off my car.
yeah.
And that's just
However,
a
I will
normal.
say
That's
this,
just a Thursday to me.
Yeah, but I'm just telling you, right here, if you ever plan on visiting New Orleans, don't come during hurricane season.
I wasn't planning on ever going to the South, outside of like I pretty much after March, I don't have any plans on ever going to the South. Not this March. Like between like November and March is the times that I'd be like, that's when I want to go to the South. But outside of that, I have no interest.
Yeah.
Kind of like Scotland. You don't want to go there in like January.
Don't get me wrong, though. I love this city, but we do have our own problems. But I'm pretty sure every city has their problems.
Every city's got their problems. But anyway, let's move along with this list. In 1995, you had it was a Indiana Jones theme. Patti LaBelle. Yeah, you basically had a Patti LaBelle whole thing, and it was like a Indiana Jones but with soul. So
Yeah.
I mean, but it was pretty cool.
Yeah, that goes in C for me.
Yeah, I think I don't know. Yeah, I think I can agree with C. Like, I kind of want to put it in B because it was just interesting, but it was also kind of kitschy. So
yeah, I'm just gonna pretend like I know what that word means, but yeah, we're gonna put that in C.
it was a little like it felt. I don't know. It's hard to explain that word off the top of my head right now. I don't know. But yeah, so Indiana Jones and the Temple of the Forbidden Eye, I guess is what it was called.
That's nice.
And Tony LaBelle and Patty Bennett doing some stuff. So it was like if y'all are interested in some unique shows, that one like I mean, if anybody's watching this looking for like an idea of which Super Bowl halftime show to go watch, I wouldn't exactly say that one's like, obviously we put it in C tier. It's not like a super awesome one, but it's really interesting one. Like it's just they do a lot of stuff you don't see in the Super Bowl halftime shows these days.
Did you know that Bruno Mars, I think, was in 2 halftime shows?
Yeah, I didn't know that.
Man. Let's say that's related. Let's move on.
Well, he's not the only one. Like wasn't Kendrick Lamar? Didn't Kendrick Lamar do a bit during like Rihanna's? And then Justin Timberlake was basically like one of the headliners in 2 of them.
Maybe, I don't know. That was too long ago.
Okay. So let's see. What's the next one? In 96.
Right.
This one's all out of order here. 96, you had Diana Ross.
That goes in B.
Okay. Yeah, I thought this one was a little less interesting.
Well, that's on you.
It's fair enough. Diana Ross is really good. Don't get me wrong. But again, this isn't about my opinion of the music. This is my opinion of the show, like the whole production.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, like if this was about on how much I like Diana Ross, this might have won in either S or A.
Well, I mean, I agree. If this was about my respect for Diana Ross as a musical artist, that would absolutely be an S or A. But
Yeah,
I mean, I don't. I'm not sitting here bumping Diana Ross all the time, but I do enjoy Diana Ross when I listen to her, and I respect her very much as an artist. Just really not my cup of tea musically. But from as far as the show goes, I just felt like the show for a Super Bowl halftime show, especially after Michael Jackson, it's just like I don't know. I feel like they could have done a little bit more with that one.
Yeah, it could.
It was
Yeah, I feel like what you done said.
the theme was 30-year celebration of the Super Bowl, which like I get, people doing like anniversary celebrations, like people it's but in my opinion, doing an anniversary celebration is like the thing that you're doing that year always feels like a very lazy way of making a big deal about something. Like, oh, it's our 30th anniversary. Okay, cool. I haven't been watching you for 30 years. Well, I guess I have now, but no, I haven't. No, because I wasn't watching the NFL when I was 2 years old.
I've been watching for 8 years.
I guess technically, I probably was watching when I was 2 years old, but I had no idea what I was watching. But my dad started taking me to the games, I think, when I was like 7. So I've been at least engaged with going to the games, and I probably like watched. Because I remember like 97 was the first year I went to a game. I'm pretty sure 96 I watched because 96 was the year Boomer Esiason kind of like temporarily came back. And there was that whole drama with Jeff Blake and everything like that. So I've been watching the NFL for if you want to say 96, then I've been watching the NFL for almost 30 years actually, 29 years.
Yeah, I've been watching since January of 2018.
There you go.
As it was a depressing game that I watched, but yeah.
So, speaking of depressing, let's talk about the '97 Super Bowl halftime show, which
I don't even remember. I don't even remember this.
It should have been, considering the lineup, this should have been the best Super Bowl halftime show that they had. They got an incredible lineup, but the actual show itself was just not. It lacked a lot. But it was called the Blues Brothers Bash. So you had the Blues Brothers, which is an incredible musical act. And then you also had ZZ Top and James Brown. Like the Blues Brothers, ZZ Top, and James Brown, and somehow they got a boring show out of that. Like I'm sorry. I expected so much more out of you guys.
I just realized that Super Bowl was in New Orleans.
Yeah.
That's funny. Yeah, I mean, I don't know.
Jim says 7 of the last 9 have been garbage. Enough said. Well, we'll talk about we'll talk about that when we get to him, Jim. I'm not entirely sure.
You can argue the first 7. You can maybe argue the first 7 of 9.
Well, no, the first 7 and 9. The first Super Bowl halftime shows weren't garbage. They just weren't. They weren't supposed to be like they weren't the same thing, you know. Like you really the reason when a lot of people do this, they start with Michael Jackson is because the Super Bowl wasn't really the same thing back in the day.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
I think I need to readjust this. Here we go. All right, we're just gonna stay there. I think that fits. Okay. Moving on to 1997. Moving on to 97. So it's the Blues Brothers. And I'm gonna put this one in D, because like I said, you got James Brown, you got the Blues Brothers, you got ZZ Top. That should blow my fucking hair off, dude. And it just wasn't. It was kind of dumb.
Yeah. Well, knowing the fact that I think I was -12 at this time, I don't know who those are.
You,
So I
you don't
can't.
know who James Brown is?
He sounds familiar.
He's like at the exact same level of fame as like Diana Ross. Same
He
like
sounds
same
familiar.
genre and everything. Like,
I mean, I know a lot of guys from back then. I just don't like. I don't know.
and
Some
like
guys
I
are from
am
the.
I am personally offended that you haven't heard of ZZ Top, but I also get it.
I mean, okay. I mean, don't take it personal, but I just got into.
It's a joke.
I know it's a joke.
Okay. But ZZ Top is good and it's mandatory listening.
Just because I believe in the Saints every year does not make me stupid.
Well, I mean, I guess I can't talk. I'm a Bengals fan.
Yeah.
I still believe they're not going to run Joe Burrow out of town.
And I believe in Kellen Moore, and that will not bite me in anywhere because he will be good.
He was a really good backup quarterback in the NFL at one time.
He also won a Super Bowl.
Yeah, sort of.
He did.
Well, he was the offensive coordinator.
Yeah, the same offense that put up 33 points against one of the best defenses in the NFL.
Yeah, but I mean, let's be honest. The defense won that Super Bowl. Like, I know Jalen Hurts won Super Bowl MVP, but most people agree that it should have been a defensive player.
I understand that.
Like the offense put up 40 points, but they were constantly in amazing field range.
Yeah, I understand that, but like even before that Super Bowl, Kellen Moore was always my guy. Kyle, you know this? Because everybody was like Joe Brady, everybody was like Mike McCarthy. People were saying Cliff Kingsbury for a minute, and I was like, Kellen Moore's my guy, so you can either take it or leave it. And now people are finally saying Kellen Moore's good because he won the damn press conference, and I don't know. Either that's going to be really good or really bad.
Well, guys who win press conferences tend to. Like their intro press conferences like lately seem to be doing pretty well. Like look at Dan Campbell. I mean, some people argue that he okay, so Dan Campbell and Nick Sirianni are guys who it's kind of controversial whether they won their introductory press conferences. But I consider the fact that they turned into a meme to be winning. And guys who turn into memes in their press conferences see Dan Campbell, Nick Sirianni end up being really good head coaches.
True that. Yeah, like Kellen
only
Moore,
that extended to offensive line coaches.
Yeah, well, if the Saints have a good offseason this year, we could compete for our division, knowing how trash that thing is.
Yeah, well, you know, I mean, y'all still got to compete against the GOAT starting at quarterback in one of those teams, though.
No, we don't. Who's the GOAT, dude? Tom Brady's retired, buddy.
Yeah, his successor, the real GOAT.
Oh, you mean that fraud over there in Tampa?
No, I mean the GOAT.
The fraud, got it.
No.
Bro, that dude fumbled that ball so hard you thought the ball had gas on it.
People call Patrick Mahomes the baby goat, and I mean maybe they won't anymore now. I don't know, but
well, hey, at least you can say he won Super Bowls.
Yeah.
Baker still has it.
Oh, I don't know. I don't think Baker will, honestly.
He won't.
I really don't think he will. Like, maybe like if they strike gold one year, but like I mean, I don't know. That'd be a lot. Anyway, in 1998, you had Boys to Men, which was they were kind of like a black boy band, more or less. I mean, like they're more like soul, but that's essentially what they were.
Yeah, I mean, I remember me watching some of that halftime show, and I was like, you know, it's alright. Like, it's definitely not bad in my opinion. I think it either goes in B or C.
Yeah. I'll put it in. I'll put it in B tier. And if you're in agreement with that, we can put it in B tier.
Yeah, I'm okay with that.
98. There, Motown 40. Yeah. So it was fine. Um, like I said, put it about on the same tier as Diana Ross. Also, like in general, a lot of those Super Bowl halftime shows in the '90s weren't as good. So like it felt like they put effort into this one. The Boys to Men, and then they also got the Queen Latifah and the Temptations, and they also had another marching band in there, which like doing a marching band every damn year and that's the whole show. Yeah, obviously I can see why they stopped doing that, but like having it in there just like as something that hasn't happened in a while, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, nostalgic, man.
Exactly.
Yep, and it was played inside of the Saints' second home.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then 1999, you had Gloria Estefan. In my opinion, the real headliner here is Stevie Wonder.
It is. And I'm not just saying this because I know we talked about earlier that we can't just base this off of artists that we like, but I'm not gonna lie, Stevie Wonder was freaking phenomenal.
Yeah,
dude.
he killed it. He absolutely.
So yeah, that goes in S or A. You'll pick. I don't care, S or A.
I'm gonna put it in A because when I'm doing tier rankings, I kind of have this thing where like you have to be like legendary all time, like it's got to be like a different you got to hit different, like putting more than one person or putting more than one show in tier in S tier for me is like it can be done, but like to put anybody in S tier is like a different level. So like and this so it's no, for me it's no disrespect to Stevie Wonder. I thought he did an amazing job. It just didn't really hit the same way that Michael Jackson's performance did, and it also didn't mean the same thing. Like frankly, this was just another halftime show. That was a really good one, but it didn't really make that much of an impact, I don't think.
Yeah, I understand that. Like, I just feel like, yeah, but like Stevie Wonder was one of those guys where it's like he kind of he's kind of like that. He's kind of like me in some sense, where it's like, look, I'm not saying I can sing as well as Stevie Wonder, but like he has fun when he does it. Like he has fun when he like performs. Like a lot of people, they perform, but it's like they don't really have that same emotion that I felt out of Stevie Wonder.
Yeah. No, as a musician and as a performer, he's something else. But the whole production was really good, and that's what I'm really impressed by. But it also just didn't have the punch that somebody like Michael Jackson doing something like that for the first time really kind of had. To me,
Yeah.
to me. So we're moving on to the turn of the millennium now, and 2000, you had a show that people still talk about to this day. I have my own opinions about it, but if that doesn't give away what I'm going to say about this one, but you had Phil Collins and Christina Aguilera, and Enrique Iglesias, and a couple others, but obviously the headliner was Phil Collins. And yeah, yeah. What did you think about this one?
Yeah, it was alright. Like it's not a halftime show that I would go and rewatch over the others, but
Thank you.
it's not bad. So I think it's like the definition of C tier.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Bad.
I'm glad you have correct opinions.
Why? Do you agree?
Yes, I like people talk about this one like it was some like big freaking deal. Like it was just like this amazing show. And I like every time I watch it, I'm just like, it's aight, it's nothing special. It's not bad for sure, but like I mean, it's kind of how I feel about Phil Collins in general. Like I really don't understand why Phil Collins is as popular as he is. Like he's fine, but he's not.
I don't even know what that
He's not
is.
that damn good. He did like, Can You Feel the Love Tonight? Yeah, obviously
Oh,
some
that
other,
song.
but you
Yeah,
might know
yeah,
that
that,
song. Yeah, I mean he had a lot of other big hits. He was the I think he was the lead. He was either the lead singer or he was the drummer of Genesis. Might have been both. But
oh well, yeah. Well, I love that song, but this I didn't like. But the Super Bowl performance itself, though,
yeah,
it wasn't.
it was fine. It wasn't bad. It just
It doesn't compete with the Deanna Ross, the Michael Jacksons, the Stevie Wonders. Like, it doesn't even compete with that. And later on, this may spoil some stuff that I got for later, but later on, it doesn't even compete with the Rihannas, the Bruno Mars, the multiple like that. Like, no, man, I could watch 1,000 Super Bowl halftime shows for that one.
all right. So next up is the 2001 Super Bowl, and this was this happened in 2001. Yet it was the single most 90s thing to ever happen. It was literally like the entire decade of the 90s, like condensed itself down into like a syrup, and then just like pervaded or like just everything. It was the most 90s thing I've ever seen in my entire life. You had Aerosmith doing a show with In Sync, and and then they had they had they had some like recordings from Adam Sandler, Ben Stiller, and Chris Rock, and then in addition to Aerosmith, you had Britney Spears and Nelly come on stage to sing "Walk This Way," and I was just like, "What is happening?" This was the most insane series of human beings being on stage together at the same time that just made absolutely no sense. It was really interesting, but it was like we're just throwing stuff at the wall to see if it sticks at this point, aren't we?
Yeah, like I feel like Britney Spears. Other than her, I didn't like this show at all.
Dude, I love Aerosmith personally. I mean Britney Spears. This was Britney Spears at her height, so I mean you can't really like. I mean, I don't really. I'm not a big Britney Spears fan, but this was Britney Spears when she was like at her peak. So like just as a performer at the time, she was good. Um, Now I mean when like I don't think I watched the Super Bowl at the time, but I think I heard about. Well, I watched the Super Bowl. I don't know if I watched the halftime show.
Why was
Um,
P Diddy in the Super Bowl?
he was a big deal back then.
Oh,
He really
because
was. Like,
I'm looking at all the stuff to prepare myself, and good God, I just saw that name.
yeah, P Diddy. Yeah, he was a big deal at one point. He's kind of always been. He's always kind of had his hands in something in the rap industry. I guess he doesn't now.
Now he's got his hands in something else called handcuffs.
Well, yeah. Okay. So anyway, in 2002.
Oh yes, bring me my guys.
Well, yeah. Yeah. So I mean, you had U2. Are you a big U2 fan?
Yes, yes I am.
Okay. I mean, they're pretty good. I mean, eh.
Yeah.
Eh. They're okay. Now, I mean,
Right.
this one was like a 9/11 tribute, so I mean, you gotta
Yeah.
give it the respect it deserves. But um, I don't know, this one was. I felt this one was so pretentious, but U2 like I mean, and this is not a comment about their music. I actually do kind of like their music, Mikey, but the U2 is so fucking pretentious. Like, let's just be honest. Like they're good musicians, but they're also very pretentious. And this show to me was very pretentious, and I didn't really like it very much.
I like I don't know because it's feel like for like U2, it's kind of like you said about the thing in like the Blue Bloods or whatever they're called. It was kind of the same thing for me, where it's like well, I still like the show, but I feel like for it being U2, it just didn't have like if you didn't know, like they performed like the game right after Katrina for the Saints. Like they were in the Superdome performing a song that they made about the Saints. that song hit different. That was a great song. But then you look at the halftime show, and it's like, for a second, I didn't even know it was the same band. So, like, U2, look, I'm a big U2 fan. The Super Bowl halftime show does not change my opinion about U2, but it just didn't really perform to my standards of U2.
So I'm gonna put it. What do you think? Like I want to put it. I want to put it in D. Is that okay?
If you do that, I will come to your house.
Okay, so I'm putting it on F then.
No.
Okay. So C.
Yes.
Okay, fine.
It's not that bad.
Well, no, the F was a joke. For me, it's D tier. It's like I was not impressed at all. But I guess if we're gonna like combine, if we're gonna agree on something, I guess we can put it in that. That's fine. I guess whatever. But speaking of U2 and Katrina, they like when that all happened. I remember they came out with this song with Green Day. That was like it was like a tribute song. The Saints Are Coming.
Yeah,
I still listen. That's a good song. I still listen to that song. But I'm also like a really gigantic Green Day fan.
Yeah, like because I remember. I don't know if you remember this, Kyle, but there's like one stage in my. Well, you probably do because I made you listen to the song. But like a couple years ago, I think it might have been last year. But there was a stage in my life where I was into this song called "We Are the World," and my mom made me listen to a song by U2, and it was "The Saints Are Coming." And ever since that day, I've been U2 have been my guys, man.
Yeah, no, that was a really good song. And you know, it wasn't just U2, it was also Green Day, but it was. Ooh, that song. I'm not even from New Orleans, and that song hits.
I'm not gonna lie, the Green Day was also good.
Yeah.
But yeah, like you said, like even you being not from New Orleans hits. But imagine being from New Orleans, bro. That song hits like 20 times deeper. Like not only does it hit in the heart, but it hits in like, cause like it's like my type of song. Like the Saints Are Coming, and then literally they performed that song in the Superdome, and then literally we kicked the Falcons' ass after that. But it doesn't get no better. You listen to U2, then you watch the Saints kick the Falcons' ass. Oh boy, so wonderful.
All right, so 2003 was, and this is another one of those examples where
I don't remember the Super Bowl show at all.
Well, yeah, that's fair. But this is going to be another one of those examples where I'm just I'm not. I'm just not musically really a fan of Shania Twain or Gwen Stefani like at all. I guess Sting is okay, but like the show was really like Shania Twain really did a phenomenal job of performing, and I got to give her props.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I listened to all the shows, but this is probably the one that I don't really remember. So, cause like it's been like it's like how much Super Bowl halftime shows have there been? Like 93, 03, 13, 23. There's been like 40 some halftime shows dating back to Michael Jackson, so it's like I ain't gonna remember all of them, and this happens to be one of them.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, so I thought it was pretty good. Like I thought it was really pretty solid. If you're having trouble, remember it how's B sound?
Okay.
It's okay. So I guess that one's my call. All right, so Jordan, if you're still watching, we're getting to the Janet Jackson one now.
Can we put this one in F just for
I'm gonna go ahead and put this one into S tier.
Well, no.
That was a phenomenal. It was a really good. It was a really good show. All right, like it's not just the fact that happened when I was like 11 years old and about 11 years old, and when you're an 11-year-old boy and you hear about something like that happening, you kind of enjoy that happening. So I mean, I thought it was pretty cool when it happened, and on top of that, Like, I mean, come on. You had Nelly, Kid Rock, you know, Justin Timberlake. I've never been a big Justin Timberlake fan, but he is a really good performer. Maybe he didn't need to take off Janet Jackson's, shirt,
Yeah.
but like I thought it was a pretty good show, regardless of the controversy. And like, if anything, the controversy, like when you say Super Bowl halftime show, the first one I think of is that one. Like the first Super Bowl halftime show that comes to my mind when I think Super Bowl halftime show is that one. Like it's the most iconic one to me.
Well, just so you know, Justin Timberlake did another show after that too, so that just made it all.
Yeah, and I don't even remember. Like, I watched that one for this, but outside of that, I did not remember Justin Timberlake's second performance at all. But I remember this one. And when Kid Rock got up there and did Ba Wut Ba, I lost my 11-year-old mind. I was like, holy fuck, dude.
Like, weren't they trying to like ban him from the halftime show because of this?
Justin Timberlake?
Yeah, I thought.
They definitely weren't happy at the time, but obviously he came back, so at some point they must have let him back in.
Yeah, because I don't know, because like Justin Timberlake, like if it was a guy like I don't know, like I don't know, if it was like a bigger guy like Bruno Mars or Eminem, like okay, they probably will come back eventually, but Justin Timberlake, like he's good. I enjoy Can't Stop the Feeling. I enjoy certain songs that Justin Timberlake did. There was one song that I was just hearing on the radio that I actually enjoyed. I forgot the name of it, but I remember there being another song that I didn't enjoy. So I like Timberlake, but it's like, whew, I mean, yeah, Janet Jackson. That's Michael Jackson's sister, right?
I think maybe. Is that right? I know they're related. It's either his sister or her. I think it is his sister.
When did Michael Jackson become her?
No. She is his sister. Is what I was saying. I might have said that wrong.
Well, all I heard was her sister.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I might have misspoken then. But listen. For me, it was like, this is for the questions that don't have any answers. The midnight glancers and the topless dancers. The gander freaks and the cars packed with speakers. The G's with the 40s and the chicks with the beepers. The northern lights and the southern comfort. It doesn't even matter if their veins are punctured. All the crackheads, the critics, the cynics, and all my heroes in the... Dude, that fucking song bumps. Like, I loved that when that show came on.
What, from Timberlake?
No, Kid Rock.
Oh, Kid Rock.
Yeah, I mean, he wasn't the headliner, but like he was in there, and they did Ba Wut Ba.
P. Diddy was in there.
Yeah, P. Diddy was in there. Nelly was in there, and Nelly at the time was randomly really famous for like 10 seconds.
Okay, good for her. Good for him. But P. Diddy, wow, well, like
yeah, P. Diddy was in there. Honestly,
I didn't know who P. Diddy was though.
Like I'd still like. I mean, I've always like. It's hard to grow up in the 90s and 2000s and not know who P. Diddy is, but like, I'll be honest with you, like, I always forgot about P. Diddy. I could never even remember anything that he made. Like, and like, honestly, his music isn't even all that great anyway.
Yeah.
But anyway, where do you want to put this one? So, like, for me personally, in my own personal enjoyment level, this one's like an S tier. But this isn't about our personal enjoyment. This is about grading it as a show.
I'll put it in A.
Okay. I think A's fair. It was really good, and it's memorable and it's iconic. Now, obviously, not memorable and iconic for necessarily super, clean reasons, and there's a lot of controversy and whatever surrounding that. But, I mean, like I said, when I think the Super Bowl halftime show, the first one I think of is that one. And there's something to be said about that.
It's A.
All right, so, we never ranked Aerosmith and NSYNC. Where were we putting that?
Who?
Aerosmith and NSYNC earlier, like Britney Spears was in there.
Oh, that one. We put in C.
Did we? Okay. All right. So next up, we got Paul McCartney, and I'll be honest, I don't remember this one at all. Like, I don't even remember this one happening. I watched it for this, but I totally forgot that Paul McCartney ever did the halftime show.
I know who he is, but I don't remember the show either. Like I said, there's a lot of shows that I remember more than others, and this happens to be one of them that I don't know.
Yeah. That was like, I don't know. That was like, I think one of the Super Bowls I was, if they like the least interested I've ever been in a Super Bowl might have been this one. Because at the time, like I did not really care about the Patriots all that much. Like it was kind of getting a little boring them being in there all the time. But obviously, it's not like the Bengals are any good, so I didn't care that much.
As in the Super Bowl matchup or the Super Bowl show?
Well, no, I'm saying the whole event of the Super Bowl. So like I don't recall being all that like caring all that much about the Super Bowl that year, and so
Well, that's how
I don't think I paid any. Yeah, I don't think I paid any attention to who was doing the halftime show, and I don't know why I would have, because like back in 2005, I don't think I would have given two hints of a fuck about Paul McCartney.
Yeah, I mean, Paul McCartney, he sounds like a guy that is a big timer, but in reality, his show though didn't really.
Yeah, I didn't think his show was all that great. I put it in like D tier.
I'm not gonna lie, a lot of the shows from 2005, not all of them, but like 2005 to 2008 wasn't really my type of show.
Well, that's fair, but one of them I'm gonna push back on you though.
One of them I will say was amazing.
I think we might be agreeing on which one that is, but I mean we'll find out. Next one is the Rolling Stones. How'd you feel about that one?
Rolling Stones. I briefly remember this one. I thought it was like it's like B or C tier, but that's about it.
I'll put it in C tier, but it's just relative snore fest for me. These dudes were like already 6 trillion years old when they did the Super Bowl halftime show in the first place. And I remember when they announced it was going to be the Rolling Stones, and I was like, are they still alive? And this was in 2006, bro.
Are they alive now?
I think they're still alive. I don't know how. Like Mick Jagger must be like on like must be like the $6 million man at this point. Like, he has to be rebuilt from like android parts. I can't imagine any other way that man, with all the drugs that he's done, is still alive.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, but like I'm not a big rock fan. Like I'll listen to rock, but it's not like my main genre. But I don't know. I mean, the show's alright.
Yeah, he's 81 years old.
Good for him.
That's unbelievable. How he's survived 81 years. I don't know. I do like the Rolling Stones, by the way. I did not think that this show was anything impressive at all.
It was alright.
All right, so next up, 2007, which was the Super Bowl between the Colts and the Bears. This was Peyton Manning getting his first Super Bowl victory, but it was Prince. What'd you think about that one?
Do we have to talk about this one?
Yes, we do.
Okay, then I don't think I can just save us all some time. Put this one in A tier or S tier. I'll let you decide and move on with your life.
All right. I'm gonna put it in an A tier because I totally agree. This one was like he did a phenomenal. I don't even really like Prince. I'm not a big. I find his voice being like his high pitched like you don't have to be rich, be my good. Like I find that annoying. Like that's annoying to me. I don't like that. But it's a really good show. Like he's a damn good performer. He did a damn good job. Like I don't like Prince's music, but that was a good show.
Yeah, like Prince, he's like I think he's from Minnesota, and the Minnesota accent kind of gets to him because like I'm not from Minnesota obviously, but I know somebody from Minnesota, and like if you try to make them say like Jaguars or like there's another word in there, but like all I know is that Minnesota accents kind of make people talk a little bit higher. But all I know is that Prince is like he's like an icon in some people's eyes. Like I said, I wasn't old enough to listen to Prince. I wasn't even alive during this. In fact, this was literally 1 year before I was born. But yeah, 2008. It was right. Well, I mean not 2008, 2007, which was 2 years before I was born. 2007. That show was.
That was a really good show. Yeah. Like I
That
said,
was probably the best
gotta
show
give it
for-
props, and I don't even like Prince.
Yeah, that was probably the best show since probably Stevie Wonder did his.
Mm-hmm. All right. Next up, in 2008, when you had the Giants upsetting the up to that point undefeated New England Patriots, the halftime show was Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers.
Yeah. D tier.
Okay.
B or F?
No.
Okay.
No. Look, like, okay. So, I want to be clear. When this may have been my at the time, I really like this was I really enjoyed watching this show when it happened. Like this was definitely the first Super Bowl halftime show that I just really liked for the like not just for the vibe, because I liked the vibe in 2002 because it was the most 2002 show of all time. And you know, like nip slip or not, the show itself was very nostalgic for me. And it wasn't even nostalgic. It was like a show of nostalgia, but at the actual time of it. So you were just living through the actual thing that you were being nostalgic of. It was an interesting thing. But Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers, like outside of that, I really enjoyed this. Like personally, I thought it was really. It just hit me. Like the music hit me in a certain way that I just really liked. But I mean, I'm not gonna lie. Like it wasn't an interesting show, like objectively, you know, like outside of just my personal enjoyment, which was this one was very high on, like, if I'm ranking some of my favorite Super Bowl halftime shows, this one's up there. But I mean, it wasn't that interesting. So I mean, what? See,
Yeah. So.
I know you wanted to put it in F, but I might fight you.
Okay, sure.
Okay. And then the following year, you had Bruce Springsteen. Now, I mean, I'm personally kind of just want to put this one in F anyway, but that's just because the Steelers won the Super Bowl that year.
Okay, I mean, okay, but it's not an F. In fact, it's far. It couldn't be more farther than F than it is. I think it's probably gonna be in B, in my opinion.
Yeah, B's fine. It was a good show.
Yeah, like I love Bruce Springsteen. Fun fact, Tom Grossi, right? I don't know if you saw when he said this. It was in the East Saga, but Bruce and Springsteen. The reason that they were Bruce and Springsteen was because of Bruce Springsteen. So that's how I know about Bruce Springsteen.
Wait, you learned about Bruce Springsteen because of Tom Grossi?
Sure did.
That's interesting. Okay. I mean, I thought it was funny that he named the characters that, but because I mean, like Bruce Springsteen is the most Jersey guy of all time.
Yeah, like, I didn't know who Bruce Springsteen was, but then I kept hearing the name Bruce and Springsteen, and like I don't know. Then I started seeing his music, and I was like, yeah, this dude. Yeah. Now I can see why Tom Grossi liked him.
He's pretty good. Like I said, now again, for me, Tom Petty was such a really good show that just Bruce Springsteen didn't do it quite for me. So for me, I didn't think it was that fun, but I mean, it was a fine show. It was, you know, nothing wrong with it. I'm fine with it being in B tier.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
And then in another one where I was very confused at the choice because of how old these guys were.
This
Yeah.
was an S tier because the Saints won the Super Bowl.
Well, okay, I understand that, but now, no, okay, don't get me wrong. I love the Who. Like one like Pinball Wizard is one of my favorite songs of all time. Period. Like or no, I'm sorry, not Pinball. Pinball Wizard's good. Baba O'Reilly, which is the second song they played, one of my favorite songs of all time, and Pinball Wizard's good too. I don't think the Who has a bad song. When I was at this time, 2010 was around when I was like a really big fan of the Who. So I mean, like the fact that they were playing the Super Bowl halftime show was really good. But I was also like, man, these guys are really old. Like, and again, this was in 2010, so you know.
It was in the best year of my life.
Well, it's also like you were like 1 year old.
Okay, so when I say that, I'm being ungrateful. But now when you say that, but now when I finally take your side, it's oh you're this. Okay, okay.
No, because we're not talking about whether or not like you have the experience of winning a Super Bowl. You said it was the best year of your life, and I was like, you're 1 year old. Like, how much of that year do you even remember?
Okay, and it can be the best year of my life, even because technically it was a part of my life. I just don't remember anything about my life, but it was still the best year.
So then, how do you? Okay. Okay.
I was living through my television.
All right. So, but as far as the halftime show goes, what do you think?
It was good. I say B.
Okay, I can do B.
You can join B.
I'd I'd put it in C personally because like I don't know. Same reason I put the Rolling Stones in C because it's just like that was a weird choice for like in the '90s the Who would have made sense, but in 2010 that was in my opinion a weird choice. But whatever. And then in 2011 you had the Black Eyed Peas. And this is another one where I now this Super Bowl. I'm actually gonna completely defer to your opinion on this one because I cannot be objective when it comes to the Super Bowl because that was like I had brain surgery that year and it was just there are a lot of emotions and everything so I can't really separate the emotions of what was going on at the time for me with actually objectively analyzing this concert so I'll just defer to you on this one. I really enjoyed it but there's a lot going on at the time for me.
Yeah, I mean, watching the show, like what last Saturday maybe. Watching this show, it was like it was kind of a mix of feelings because like I enjoyed the show. It's just it's kind of hard to explain it, but what I will say is that Usher I feel like did a better because he was a part of it. I'm not gonna lie, I feel like he did a better job at that time than he did a couple years ago. That's just me though. Yeah, that's what I was.
He was in one song.
I know. And that was better than whatever the hell he tried doing 2 years ago.
I mean, I thought he was fine a couple years ago. But I mean, we'll get to that here in a little bit. But
a lot of it.
So what do you think?
I'm saying, see.
See?
Yeah.
I did say I was gonna defer to your opinion, so I'll stick to what I said. And I really liked that show personally.
Okay, but I will say this: Madonna, who we're about to get to,
F.
This girl's over. Man, she overrated, dude.
What, dude? Not only is Madonna overrated, but that show sucked. Like LMFAO is one of the dumbest fucking like one-hit wonder acts that's ever like. God, they're so annoying.
Really, I couldn't agree with you more.
Yeah, like I don't know, and it wasn't even like I didn't feel like the show was even done all that well. Like it was like it was overdone in the parts where it didn't need to be overdone, and it wasn't done up enough in the parts where it felt like they could have used a little bit of extra. I don't know. I just the whole production of this one was weird and kind of dumb, and I didn't
Yeah,
like it.
like, bro, I don't like Madonna at all. Like, to be honest, I feel like Madonna is just like, I don't know why she got off. I think it's because she started dating Dennis Rodman, and then she just became popular after that.
What Madonna? No,
Yeah.
no, that no Madonna. Wait, really? Madonna was one of like Madonna was one of the most popular, insanely popular people on the planet. Now in the '80s, but I mean, Madonna was like, God, I can't even like you know how earlier I said who did I say earlier we were talking about? I was like they were the biggest star in the world at the time.
P Diddy.
No, no, that wasn't Peter. I think I was talking about Michael Jackson. Madonna was never quite Michael Jackson big, but Madonna was like, the next step below Michael Jackson at one point.
Exactly, and that makes her overrated because I don't understand why.
Well, yeah, no, I don't like her, but she was very for her time. That's what everything was like. Like she was, like for the '80s sucked, dude. Like I've never understood people's fascination with '80s culture. '80s culture sucks, but that's what was popular in the '80s.
Yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, like Madonna, like, man,
Yeah. And I'm putting her an F, by the way. Again, not because like I don't like Madonna's music, but Madonna's definitely not the person in this list who's like my least favorite artist so far. LMFAO might be, to be honest. But Madonna was the headliner. LMFAO, they were this like weird like electronic like party pop thing that was happening in the mid 2010s that was just stupid and annoying, and I hated it.
That's good for them.
Like, do you I like I forget, I can't even remember the way the song goes, but it's like like Open Gangnam Style.
Oh yeah,
I hate I cannot.
Okay. Well, let's move on to a good show, which was done by Beyonce.
Yeah, Beyonce was good.
Man, I'm ready to put this in A and just shut up.
I was gonna put her in B.
Okay,
she's good, but I don't know. I feel like she's had better performances than the one she had in the Super Bowl.
But I feel like Beyonce, man, like it's weird because I don't really listen to Beyonce that often. But I listened to that show obviously for this, and man, she crushed it, dude.
Okay.
There was a point in my life where I kept confusing Beyonce with Taylor Swift for some reason.
That makes absolutely no sense.
I know.
I can put her in A tier though. I think she was pretty good. Like I'm not. I don't know. I didn't. But I mean, as far as like being an iconic show goes, like I mean, this is another one that people like constantly reference. So I mean, if we're adjusting for also just the impact that it made, I can put it in A tier.
Yeah.
But for me, I don't know. I felt like I've personally seen Beyonce put on better shows than the one that was in the halftime show. Now this next one I thought was really good. That's Bruno Mars.
It goes in S, and I'm not hearing anything. Man, you make me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. Like, Bruno Mars, man. Bruno Mars is probably my favorite singer of all time.
I don't think quite S. But I'll put him in A.
Just the way you are.
How did he not play? I remember in 2014 my biggest takeaway from his show was like, I forget the name of the song, but at the time it was like the Bruno Mars song, and I'm like, how'd you not play that song?
Well, I don't know because I wasn't watching back then. But man, but I will say this, like I have like a music playlist that I'm sure everybody does that all the top tier music goes into. Three of those songs are Bruno Mars, and that's like the most of all the songs
He's really
are
good.
in the playlist. I have like 50 plus songs, and Bruno Mars has three of them. Yeah, Locked Out of Heaven, Finesse, and his newest one with Lady Gaga, Die with a Smile.
Yeah, I've heard people like that one. I don't know if I've heard that one actually. I might have to look that one up.
If the world was ending, I wanna be next to you.
I just I don't
If
I don't
the
know like
party was over
I
and
th-
our time on earth was through, I wanna hold you just for a while and die with a smile. Man, that song hits hard in 2025.
it's
I
also
definitely.
it's also a shame because like do you understand how hard Uptown Funk would have hit it, but he didn't come out with that song until later that year.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, to anybody watching, if there's one song that these performers did like regarding the show, um, go check out "Die with a Smile," "Locked Out of Heaven" by Bruno Mars.
But also they had the Red Hot Chili Peppers make an appearance. Like that was just cool as shit.
I don't care. Bruno Mars is the GOAT.
I like Bruno Mars, but like the Red Hot Chili Peppers was in my opinion that was such a cool like random throw like they just threw him in there and that was just like and they fit really well with Bruno Mars too. Like I didn't expect that.
Yeah, I'm not gonna lie though, they did well. They did well. Like the way that they were flowing with the melody, because like I'm not gonna lie, some shows I wasn't paying attention because I was like, what the heck is this? Because like some of these shows were lame, but Bruno Mars, bro, I don't think I missed a beat with that one.
All right. So now we're gonna move on to the next one, and
Katy Perry did a good job too.
I was about to say I referenced this one earlier because
Mhm.
I said when we were first starting the episode, I said that there was one that it's like I don't really like Katy Perry. Um, I'm not the biggest Katy Perry fan. She's just not my style of music. But the fucking Sharks, dude.
Okay.
The fucking Sharks. Like she had these dudes dressed as sharks. Like you understand how
Oh,
cool that like I still that's another one. That's another one of those ones. Like when I think the Super Bowl halftime show, if it's not Janet Jackson's tit, I'm thinking of I think of those fucking sharks. Like that was so fucking cool. And she just killed it too.
fun fact: I actually a couple years ago at my school we did a Christmas play and we did Katy Perry's song "Firework."
It's fair. It's very
That was a
that's
good
quite a
song.
famous song.
That was a
Again,
good song.
I'm not a huge fan of her music. It's just not my thing. You know, it's I don't have a problem with her, but I just not my style of music. But like, I mean, she really killed it in that show, though. Like, it was really interesting too. Um, my argument is that this one should go in S tier. Like I said, I'm not a
uh,
big fan of putting multiple things in S tier, but I just think Katy Perry did such a damn good job.
I mean, you did say sharks.
Yeah, the fucking Sharks, dude. But I'll like, what do you think? S or not?
I was thinking more of A, but I'm not. I wouldn't be mad at this.
Okay. I mean, I can put it in A if you want me to. But just
That's
those fucking Sharks. Like I
yeah.
I've never been able to get over the Sharks, literally ever. It's been 10 years, and
Bro,
I still can't get over the Sharks.
the Sharks though.
Right. Um. All right. The following year was
Bruno
Coldplay,
Mars is bad.
and Beyonce's back.
And she's out.
And yet somehow, in my opinion, somehow you had two of the best halftime performers that the Super Bowls had come back with another band that's really good, and I just felt like the show itself just did not live up to the billing.
Yeah, it was alright.
Yeah, it was I mean, for me, this one was a C tier.
Yeah.
I just I mean, it was fine, but it could have been so much more than it was. And
Yeah.
and Bruno Mars did do Uptown Funk in this one. It's just I don't know. It just would have. The whole show just. What?
That was a song where it's like, how do you not play that song?
Yeah, but no, well, sort of, because that song didn't come out until later that year, so.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, it is what it is.
Mm.
But he did play in 2015 or in 2016, but just the whole show just I don't know. It didn't hit as hard in that one. He did such a good job in his first one that I don't know. And not that he did a bad job the second time around. That's another one where it's with that lineup I expect so much more.
But it's weird though. I don't think I've ever heard a bad Bruno Mars song ever.
Yeah, I don't think I've heard one that I would describe as bad. He's pretty damn good.
Yeah, right. Man, Bruno Mars, bro, that guy, man. Bro, if I could just have, well, let me not say that, cause yeah. But I will say this though, Bruno Mars is top notch. Bruno Mars, I feel is the Michael Jackson of this era.
I don't agree with that.
Maybe
Maybe musically you could say he's. I mean, I would argue musically he's better than Michael Jackson, but
that's what I'm saying.
But part of Michael Jackson, part of what Michael Jackson is a cultural phenomenon. It's not just about Michael Jackson's music; it's also about just the cultural impact that he had. And Bruno Mars has not had anywhere near that kind of cultural impact.
I understand that, but bro, Bruno Mars, this generation, he's my generation, Michael Jackson. Because, how I'm listening to Bruno Mars, I'm talking about music-wise, it's like when you say, who's the better quarterback, Mahomes or Joe Burrow? Are you looking at winning, or are you looking at field, on the field? That's basically what this is. Because, yes, Michael Jackson's the best guy when it comes to, the culture, but when it comes to the music, if I was living back then, I would be listening to Michael Jackson how I'm listening to Bruno Mars.
Well, you're right. I mean, at that point, I think we're getting more into opinion territory, and I mean, I like Bruno Mars. I can't say I think Bruno Mars is the best artist out there today.
I think he is.
I think he's pretty good, but yeah.
I think he's probably the best band. What's the next one?
I think honestly, the best artist, the best musical artist out there today is probably Maynard James Keenan, but he's not. They're not exactly.
I don't even know who that is.
He's the vocalist from Tool.
I don't even know what that is.
It's a prog rock band. It's I'm if we're purely talking about musical abilities, he's just really fucking good. That's just all there is to it.
Good for him.
But it doesn't. But I mean, there's more to it than just being enjoyable. I like it, And I wouldn't even say Tool isn't my favorite band by any means. Just it might be the best, objectively best band. That exists, but there's so many bands I personally like better than Tool, or musical. I mean, musical artists too in general. But anyway, moving on. We got Lady Gaga.
Bruh, not only was this the second best Super Bowl of all time, but she put on a show, dude.
Was it the second best Super Bowl of all time?
Yes, because the fail cons suck.
Oh, okay, yeah. I forgot that was the one where yeah, that's fair enough.
They
I
suck
actually
more
I
than
really enjoyed
50%.
that because I called it before they started making their comeback. I called that was going to happen,
Yeah, I've called them
and
funky stuff before. Hey,
everybody in my dorm thought I was crazy, but yeah, I was right.
hey, Kyle. I think this is what I'm about to tell you. You may love me for, but in the year y'all went to the Super Bowl, when y'all were playing the Titans in the divisional round, I called the Bengals getting that interception at the end of the game and then kicking the field goal.
Hell yeah. Oh, yeah.
Because I remember it was 16-16. It was third down for Tennessee. I was like, no one was in the room, but I like talking to myself because I do. But I was like, watch. Ryan Tannehill, he's going to – because Ryan Tannehill, that entire game, like the first pass is an interception. So I was like, watch. Ryan Tannehill, he's going to throw an interception, and the Bengals are going to win that game off of it. And that's what happened.
Well, that's a pretty safe bet to be honest.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I'm not saying it's as crazy as a 2083 comeback, but what I'm saying is that,
yeah.
like the realm of possibility that would actually happen is kind of like, because at that time it was like, I mean, you got AJ Brown, Derrick Henry, so the likeliness of that happening was not like totally likely, but hey, I called it so.
Yeah. All right. So anyway, Lady Gaga. How'd you feel about the halftime show?
Like, it was so amazing because it's like, bro, I don't know if you noticed, but like the NFL has their own YouTube page where they put on every like all the highlights of the games. The halftime show was literally in the Super Bowl highlights. So, man, when I was watching that, I was like, man, Lady Gaga, man, she tearing that show up. So, bro, it's either I'm not gonna put it in S because we already got two there, right?
Yeah.
So
I'll give
I
you
think that
A.
goes in like.
I think A is fair.
Huh?
I said I think A is fair. She did a really good. That was that was another one of those ones, that I remember in 2017. I was like, I was honestly kind of dreading her being the halftime performer because like I don't hate Lady Gaga now, but I really hated Lady Gaga back then. Like just I just fucking despised Lady Gaga back then.
Man, what did she do to you?
I just found her style to be annoying. I found her whole like vibe to be obnoxious, but
I still don't know what Lady Gaga looks like because this is the third time I saw a different style of person from her.
yeah, that's who she is. But like again, I don't have a problem with her now, but I really didn't like her back then. I found, and to some extent still find a lot of her music from that time period to be really repetitive and obnoxious and like lowest common denominator, kind of like the paparazzi song. Like, oh god, shut up. Poker Face is another one. I just ugh.
Yeah, I mean, Lady Gaga, like,
But she did a really good job.
I mean, Just Dance and Telephone, those two songs, those hit hard. Okay, I'm just saying.
Okay.
And Million Reasons, it was alright. That Romance, it was alright. Like those two songs I wasn't feeling. But Telephone and Just Dance, those songs, they hit hard, dude. Like they hit hard, dude. Pause, but they hit hard.
Fair. All right, I can deal with her being an A though. I was probably like on my own I'd put her in B tier, but I can do A. All right, Justin Timberlake Part 2.
Bruh, C.
F.
Okay.
I thought that was a stupid show. Like I when they said Justin Timberlake was doing it again, I was like, why? What?
Yeah, I was trying to be nice, but yeah, we can do it. Yeah.
And then he got up there and he did it, and it was just like, what? Like that wasn't. It was. I mean, he was like I'm bringing sexy back, and he's like 40, and I'm like, and it was just it was cringy. I didn't like it at all.
Yeah.
I thought it was dumb,
I feel
weird.
like he has like a raspy tone.
What?
I feel like he has kind of like a raspy tone.
He does. He's a good singer. I don't know.
Yeah, like I said, I like his music. Just some of the
I
shit he
don't
does.
I don't really like his music, but I do think he's a like objectively a good singer. Like Britney Spears, you know. I don't like Britney Spears' music, but objectively she's a really good singer.
Yeah.
All right, Maroon 5.
Maroon 5. It's weird. A lot of people didn't like Maroon 5, but I didn't have a problem with Maroon 5.
I thought they did fine personally. I thought
Because I was watching like somebody else do their Super Bowl halftime rankings, not to like steal any of their ideas, but I was like, okay, what are people objectively thinking about the shows? And when they got to this one, it was like the second worst one on their rankings, and I was listening to it, and I'm like, I mean, it ain't that bad. Like,
yeah,
it's actually pretty good. So,
yeah.
Maroon 5, I think I would put it in B tier.
I completely agree. B tier is like perfect B tier. Like and I agree with you. People are saying it was a really bad show. It's like no, it wasn't that bad. I mean, maybe it's like if you really like Maroon 5, which a lot of people do like Maroon 5. If you and I don't really care that much about Maroon 5. I'd say I could take him or leave him, but I'd probably leave him. Not really super into Maroon 5. But like I think people might have been just expecting Maroon 5 to be so fun and so awesome, and they just kind of went up there and they did a concert, and I think people were expecting better. And
Yeah. Well, I'm surprised people even saw this halftime show because a lot of people, especially down here in New Orleans, were not watching the Super Bowl that year.
why not?
Because a lot of us were protesting.
Oh right, because yeah, okay, fair enough.
I watched like the first half of it, but that is
All right, 2020, you had Shakira and Jennifer Lopez.
D.
That's fair. I didn't think it was that great either. Apparently Bad Bunny was in there, and I just don't remember that at all.
D, dude.
I thought
thinking about the halftime show gives me just thinking about the show gives me the heebie-jeebies.
I did think that Shakira did a really good job when she did "Hips Don't Lie." I felt like that song was introduced well, and it did, you know, it was done well, you know, for lack of a better term. But there were so many songs that they did. Like that was such a long set list, you know, that the like it's like the little tiny bit where she was doing "Hips Don't Lie" was pretty good, but it didn't last very long. And I yeah, could have been a lot better.
Yeah, I mean, like this is like the first halftime show that I actually paid attention to. And watching it, I was confused because I was like, I mean, okay, I mean, they like what they're doing, good for them.
All right. So next, I have a confession to make.
Okay.
I did not watch the Super Bowl halftime show when it happened. And I did not watch this the other day when I was watching through all of the Super Bowl halftime shows. So,
why did you forget about it?
Huh?
Why did you forget about it?
Yeah, kind of. I did forget about it, and
show.
At the time, I honestly didn't care because I was focused on the Bengals being in the Super Bowl, and when halftime, I think I don't know because like I was making wings, at the time, so I think like the show was on, but I wasn't really paying attention because I was making wings.
I think I've seen probably like 3 halftime shows live.
But yeah, I don't know. So like I honestly don't like I still don't think to this day I've heard a song by this guy, so I don't know anything about it. So
you have not heard Blinding Lights?
I haven't heard what?
Blinding Lights?
How's that go?
Like it's like Blinding Lights or whatever, something like that.
I have no idea.
Now see, wait, hold on. Now look at this. Why the heck has Ed Sheeran not performed in the halftime show yet?
That's a good question.
Now
that'd be a damn good show.
Bro, now I'm confused. Man, next year, can they please, bro? Can we stop acting like Ed Sheeran is like? Can we stop the Ed Sheeran disrespect in 2025? We're ending the disrespect, dude.
Does Ed Sheeran get disrespect?
Yes, dude.
By
Bro,
who?
I just saw some. I saw something the other day where it's like, it may have not been the other day, but I remember seeing something where it's like Ed Sheeran is like the most like weird. I don't know. It was something bad about Ed Sheeran. Just know that, but man, Ed Sheeran, man,
I like Ed
how
Sheeran.
the hell did Ed Sheeran not did a Super Bowl halftime show? Like,
Well,
man, can he please do it next year, please?
I mean, Ed Sheeran hasn't done a Super Bowl halftime show because he's not like as big as he is. He's not that big. If that makes
Well,
sense.
he deserves to be bigger.
He does, and he is pretty big. I could see him doing it at one point, but he's never been that big, you know.
I'm sorry, but like Ed Sheeran, he was better than The Weeknd. He was better than Shakira and Jennifer. He like those are my projections. He would have probably been better than Justin Timberlake. He would have probably been better than let me see he would have definitely been better than Madonna. Like man, if you don't give my boy if you don't give my boy his 15 minutes of fame.
All right. So moving on.
Wait, hold on, did we rank the
Oh yeah,
show?
I guess we didn't because I forgot and don't care. But I don't know what do you, for me it's like I didn't watch it, so I guess I can't. You rank this one.
Okay, it's going in C.
Okay, cool. That sounds about how much I care about it anyway. Like
Okay.
like I said, I don't know anything about this guy. I remember being kind of annoyed that he was the halftime show performer in our Super Bowl. Like, could we get somebody who I give a shit about?
That's how I thought about Kendrick Lamar.
Okay, we'll talk about Kendrick Lamar here in a second. So the Super Bowl after ours, I was so fucking mad. Like, we get The Weeknd and y'all get Eminem. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Dude, I was so hyped for this show. And
Wait, wasn't this the year where the Bengals went to the Super Bowl?
no, this was the year after. This is the year where we almost went back to the Super Bowl, and then Joseph Osai got called for.
No, that says 2022 on there.
No, the 2022 season.
No, it says February 13, 2022.
Was it? Oh no,
And it
yeah,
was in
you're right.
SoFi.
You're right.
It was in SoFi.
Okay, what was I thinking then?
It was in SoFi, which
okay,
is where the Rams.
So then again, so never mind then. I was actually like, I was like, hell yeah, we get Eminem in our Super Bowl. And actually
Yeah,
on that
we
note,
can
I
really
did
play
watch
the
it because
better.
I remember this show happening. So I definitely watched it. Of course I watched it. I love Eminem. I'll be honest, I didn't think that it was as. Now maybe this was because I was expecting to have my fucking hair blown off. And maybe that's maybe I should have like managed my expectations a little bit because maybe I like overhyped it for myself, but I didn't think it lived up to as good as it could have been. Like I thought it was really good, but you know, I was hoping for like, you know, I don't know what I was expecting. Like Eminem's one of my favorite artists, like period of like across any genre. So I think going into this, I was kind of hoping that honestly. I'm going to hold off on talking about it, but honestly, what we did get out of Kendrick Lamar. So.
Okay, buddy.
Okay. So anyway, Eminem, Dr. Dre, Snoop Dogg, 50 Cent. I thought it was pretty good. I just didn't think it was as good as it could have been.
Yeah, I mean, this is literally the Avengers, dude.
Exactly. It should have been, in my opinion, this should have been like the crowning achievement of Eminem's career. He had the chance to just do the fucking thing, and he played it soft, I felt.
Yeah, I mean, to be fair, it was kind of like have you seen Avengers Endgame?
I haven't seen any of the Avengers movies.
Well, that's unfortunate for you. But
I'm not really
there's
a movie
point
guy.
in what? That is true. But in the Avengers Endgame movie, you have literally Black Panther, Captain America, Iron Man, Thor, they're all in this one setting. That's literally what the Super Bowl halftime performance was. Like they were literally like you couldn't script a better halftime roster if you wanted to. Other than Kendrick Lamar, he could have left, but other than that, I mean, everybody else like 50 Cent, he's alright. Eminem, probably the best rapper that I've ever heard. But to be fair, I don't give a damn about rap, and I never really will or did. But yeah, Eminem. So yeah, so I put this in probably A.
Okay. I'd put it in B personally, but like I said, I think I might be a little biased here because my expectation. I think I may have like. I may be underrating it a little bit because my expectation was so high. To be fair,
You only got one shot. Don't miss your chance to blow.
exactly. That should have fucking basically ended my life. It should have been that good, and it wasn't. It was fine. I don't know.
Yeah.
But then again, I was also really hyped about the Bengals too, so maybe that was part of it.
Yeah. But I will say this though, the 2023 one with Rihanna, that one blew my expectations out the water.
Dude, Rihanna fucking destroyed it.
Like Rihanna was doing it like the year before it should have been doing it. Like
Rihanna, damn. Like I'm gonna have to break my rule here, but I gotta put her in S tier. She fucking
an S tier.
She fucking owned it, dude. Like this one's like the Rihanna show. I wouldn't say that's really iconic in the way that like the Katy Perry and the MJ show is, but she was just so damn good. Like just from an objective standpoint, she just and I'm not a huge. I like Rihanna. I'm not a huge Rihanna fan, but like she just fucking ended everybody. Like honestly, she probably had the best performance of any Super Bowl halftime. Like just as a single individual.
Yeah, but it's weird because I remember going into that Super Bowl and I was like, I think that was probably one of the 3 halftime performances I actually saw, like from real time. And I remember going in there and I was like, I don't have no expectations, and I just left that setting with my mind blown.
Yeah, dude, she absolutely fucking blew it out of the water. I was so impressed.
But what really did it for me was that end with Diamonds, like that song Diamonds and Umbrella. Those 2 songs lit it up, dude. Like the entire show was great, but man, I'm so glad she did Diamonds last because Diamonds was probably the best song.
Well, I was wondering because like I mean, when like throughout the whole show, I was like, okay, all right, you're playing a bunch of good stuff. And Diamonds is not my favorite song by her, but I do know Diamonds is the song by Rihanna. So I was just like, okay, when's Diamonds coming? Okay, that's at the end. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right.
You're beautiful like diamonds in the sky.
All right, so there is our tier list for this particular one. Let's we got I guess some of these are already in it. So we have Rihanna in S. Who's this?
Is that the?
I think that might be. I think that might be Snoop Dogg. So that one's probably the one with Eminem, right?
Yeah, probably. I mean, Snoop Dogg did do it with Eminem.
So what did we say that was an A tier?
I think so.
Okay. And then this is Usher. So what do we have Usher?
He's in C.
Yeah. Was he?
He is today.
Okay. I cannot remember.
Well, we didn't do Usher yet.
Oh yeah, we didn't do Usher yet. Okay, so that one's still coming up. But there was. Is this Bruno Mars?
It might be. I see Hat, and whenever I see Hat, I think of Bruno.
No, that's The Weeknd.
Oh, never mind. I didn't. Oh no, the thing just looked like a hat.
So we had the Weeknd in C, right?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So next up then I guess is Usher.
He can go ahead and join the freaking Weeknd.
Yeah, I don't know. I didn't think I mean I like Usher personally, but I didn't think it was You know, when him and Lil Jon did yeah, I had fun with that one, but it's like it took the entire show to get there. It took the entire show to get there, and I was just like, the rest of the show was just like, eh.
Yeah, like,
And
but
it was
I'm
just
not
like,
gonna lie.
especially following up that performance by Rihanna, like kind of hard to
Like,
follow that one anyway. To be fair,
yeah, Usher, he does rap, right?
no, he's like R&B.
R&B. Okay. Well, all I remember, like, I wasn't paying too much attention to that show because I was too busy doing other stuff. But I just remember the stuff that I did listen to. Even when I was looking back on it, I was like, okay. I mean, it's fine, but it's
All right. So, well, we're here, and I don't think we're gonna agree, but
we're not.
let's talk about it. So, where would you put the Kendrick Lamar show?
See,
It's honestly a little better than what I thought you would say.
nah, because
Um,
when he dissed Drake, that was fun. I'll give him that. When he dissed Drake, that was fun.
yeah, do fuck Drake, honestly.
When he dissed Drake, I was gonna put it in D. Sure, I was gonna just say kick him off his damn tier list entirely.
He literally got the entire Super Bowl to call Drake a pedophile. That's not like that's just funny. Honestly, that's the funniest thing I've ever seen in my life.
Yeah, that was fun. That saved it. Like that ending, like that saved it for me. But I'm putting it in C because that was like the only good part of it. Like it was alright. Like I'm not like the show. It was whatever. But it's like when he did Drake, that was funny. I'll give him that. Like, I'll take my biases aside. That was fun. That's
Okay. So, for me, as far as my personal enjoyment goes,
we can't do that. Remember?
I know, and I'm gonna get there. Okay, but as far as my personal enjoyment goes, I don't know if I've ever enjoyed a Super Bowl halftime show more than Kendrick Lamar's. Now, I was streaming it too. I was. This is the only Super Bowl I've ever streamed before, and I actually honestly didn't really like streaming it all that much. I don't know. I don't necessarily think I'll be doing it again because, as you can expect, a lot of people were watching the Super Bowl instead of like coming to my stream. So I think I'd rather just go to a bar or something. A few people came. I didn't
think you were going to sing Super Bowl. That's why.
I didn't necessarily think I was either, and then I just ended up not doing anything that day. So I'm like, well, fuck it, might as well get on the stream. But I think next time I might just get like $20 and go to a bar. Honestly, like that. I don't know. And like the video itself didn't do all that great after the fact either. It's just like I don't know. It's talking about the Super Bowl before and after did just as well as doing the actual Super Bowl itself. So I mean, I think once you get to like Tom Grossi's level of like doing stuff like this, then like I think the Super Bowl's got to be like one of Tom Grossi's biggest shows of the year, right? But for the side for
Tom Grossi's streaming since Sunday.
Well, I know. But for my channel's size, which I haven't even hit, I haven't even monetized my channel yet. Like I've got the subs, but I don't have the public watch hours right now. But like for my channel size, trying to do something like the Super Bowl just isn't really going to work very well. So, and plus I have a lot of fun with the Super Bowl, just like watching it as a personal event. So I don't think I'll be doing that again. But
yeah.
Bro,
I was actually going to put Super Bowl too. Yeah, I was going to stream it too, but then I got sick, so I couldn't.
I know this seems to be a bit of a controversial take. Me and John were arguing about it. Like, I mean, friendly arguing, but we were arguing about it on the like on the Super Bowl stream about whether or not it was a good show or not. But like, that was such a incredible show by Kendrick. Like it was layered with it was more than just about the music. The amount of layers that was going on with everything, and like the spectacle, and just like the balls that it took to not only diss Drake but like basically do like and politics aside, I'm like, we don't need to bring people's actual politics into this, but just the balls that it takes to like with Donald Trump in attendance and people making a big deal about that, to put on that kind of spectacle. There's like as an artist, purely from an artistic standpoint, I was so fucking blown away by Kendrick Lamar's performance. It's and now I'm gonna walk it back here a little bit and say I've actually been thinking about this for a couple weeks now, or however long it's been since the Super Bowl. Thinking about like, was that a good halftime show? Was it not? Because like a lot of people didn't like it, et cetera, et cetera. What I will say is that I can go as low as B tier on this one, because I heard one person who shares similar musical opinions as me ask, was that the greatest halftime show performance of all time? And it's like, no, it was, but not objectively, it wasn't. But from depending on what you're looking for, like in my opinion, as a performance, as an artistic thing that somebody put out into the world, that's one of the greatest performances I've ever seen in my life. But it wasn't just a concert. Like, it was one of the greatest concerts I've ever seen.
No,
but you don't have to like it. But just from an artistic standpoint, from a perspective of critique, what he was going for and what he was able to accomplish, and all the layers of nuance that was going on that goes on beyond just the surface of like, oh, there's a guy up there who's rapping. There's so, if you dive into it, there's so much more that was going into it, and it was so cool and so interesting. But I'm not gonna lie, because of how layered and nuanced it wasn't really for everybody. And when you're doing the Super Bowl halftime show, you kind of have to do something that's kind of for everybody, because that's kind of the whole point of the halftime show. So like objectively, as a Super Bowl halftime show, it may not have been like as like my personal opinion of it is honestly probably wrong. There's only so like opinions in general. Outside of like jokes and stuff like that, opinions are just not like, they can't be wrong exactly. But in this case though, what I'm looking for in this performance is probably really just not what a Super Bowl halftime show was meant to be in the first place. So it was an incredible spectacle. Like I said, as a display of public art, I thought that this show was the most amazing one I've seen. But for the fact that like it's supposed to be this like fun, kitschy Super Bowl halftime show that's really just like meant to be like commercial and whatever, it wasn't that great from that perspective. So I mean, like, you know, I'll knock at some points as far as our list goes here. So like I'll say B.
Yeah, I mean, like, the show started off, like, I'm not gonna lie, at first I was like, okay, I'm kind of feeling the vibe. But then the show happened, and then it kept going, and I'm like, okay, we completely downgraded. And then, like, as I was watching the show, they brought on, who was it, Selena? Or was it, I don't know, somebody else.
SZA. But, I wasn't a big fan of SZA.
No, I know SZA, but there was somebody on the damn stage that was just there just to dance for 5 seconds.
Oh yeah, she was Drake's ex. Yeah, that's why they did that. That's funny.
Like, you didn't have to kill Drake.
Yeah, you kind of. It's funny though. That's part of like, just like I said, they public floggings have not gone out of style. He just basically like took Drake and turned him into a fucking effigy of himself. And it was funny. Like I'm sorry, we don't have to agree on this one, but that shit was funny.
Look, it was funny, but you didn't have to kill him.
Why not?
You probably didn't because you're not a TV guy. But have you ever seen the Charlie Brown Halloween edition?
Like the Great Pumpkin.
Yeah,
I think so. Why?
Because like around like the beginning of the movie, right? Lucy's like damn near killing the pumpkin, getting all the stuff out of him. And then Linus goes, he's already dead. You didn't have to kill him. That's literally how I was with Drake. Like, I started feeling sympathy, and I don't like Drake either. But damn, you didn't have to kill this man. Like,
man,
okay, having that I'm a pedophile, but damn, there was action moves.
You claim to like Eminem, but do you know what Eminem used to do to people back in the day? Like this man used to end careers. Like I mean, he basically ended MGK's career not that long ago.
And who?
MGK, Machine Gun Kelly. Exactly.
Well, I know he tried to destroy his own mother.
Yeah, he did a pretty decent job of that. But his mom was already fucked up. But like, dude, Eminem used to fucking like you want to talk about a guy who just like took beefs way too far. Eminem used to just murder people. Like
exactly.
Just
he took that to the halftime show.
They wouldn't let him on the halftime show. The fact that they let him like back in 2021, I was shocked. Like I said, because like Eminem is like if you like beyond just like the hits like oh lose yourself in the music beyond that, dude, Eminem is fucking fucked up. Like you like go listen to Eminem's catalog. Eminem is fucked up. Okay, like I'm serious. Eminem's not a good person. Go listen to it's his music. He's a bad guy. He's again from an artistic standpoint, which is where I judge a lot of like these musical people. Eminem is incredible, but like I mean, if you're talking about like this guy makes me uncomfortable, Eminem is uncomfortable as fuck, dude.
Okay, I'm gonna let God decide who's good or bad.
Eminem's going. I promise you, Eminem is going straight to the 15th layer of hell the second that he dies.
Okay, like I said, I'm gonna let God decide that because if I'm trying to get into heaven, I'm not trying to judge. So,
how old are you?
I'm about to be 16.
Okay. When you're 18, because I just the simple fact that you're a minor makes me question me doing this. So I'm gonna wait. But when you're 18, remind me to tell you about an Eminem song, and then I'm gonna tell you about an Eminem song, and you're gonna be like, "Holy fucking shit!"
I mean, I listen to messed up shit right now.
I'm not like I'm 32, and I'm not sure I should be listening to this Eminem song.
Okay. I mean, that's if I remember to remind you.
Yeah. Well, I think. Somehow I feel like I'm gonna remember. I don't remember a whole lot, but somehow I feel like I'd remember to do that. But anyway, where are we putting Kendrick Lamar? I said I think B would be a fair spot because
I said C minus.
Well, right, but we got to. But I said S, so we got to compromise somewhere.
Wait, you said S?
I said that that's the greatest show I've ever seen.
Oh, that's right. You were being delusional that one time. Okay.
All right, then.
I don't know. I mean, C is like 3 spots, or 2 spots. Well, technically 3 spots below S. So I mean.
All right, hold on. Here's what I'm gonna do. Where did we put? Damn, I can't do that. I was gonna say where did we put Bruno Mars? I'm gonna put him 1 spot above that.
The hell you said?
You know what?
Don't get started.
You know what? Fuck you. We're on my channel. Which and the main reason we're on my channel is because I haven't figured out how to port it to both of our channels yet. But right now we're on my channel, so I'm gonna put them in B. Fuck you.
Okay. Okay. But I will say this though. Bruno Mars is still the GOAT.
He's pretty good.
The GOAT.
I think, let's see. As far as like current pop artists, he might be my favorite. I'm not sure.
It makes me feel like I've been locked out of heaven. Man, can somebody get Chris Paul off my damn screen?
You don't like Chris Paul?
No.
Oh. Apparently, The Weeknd is currently very popular.
Dude, Weeknd.
Yeah. So let's see. Ariana Grande, Billie Eilish. God, I don't like any of these people.
Oh, I
Uh,
love Billie Eilish.
Rihanna. I like Rihanna. Okay, so maybe Rihanna. I guess I don't know.
I know that you love me. You don't need to remind me.
Britney
I should
Spears
put
is
it
still
on.
famous. When's the last time Britney Spears did anything?
I don't know.
This Miley Cyrus is on here. This can't be a recent list.
But Kyle, do you know Wildflower, right?
Yeah, what about him?
You know, Billie Eilish has a song called Wildflower.
That sounds like something that would happen. Yeah, Avril fucking Lavigne's
Yeah.
on here.
But it's weird because she not at one point in the song talks about a wildflower.
Well, I'm sure it was a metaphor.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, so the Billboard Hot 100. Well, you know who's number one right now, Mikey?
Bruno Mars.
No, it's not Bruno Mars.
Okay. Lady
Here.
Gaga.
You can see the screen right now, right?
Shoot, hold on. No, I can't.
Well, you can if you get it on the YouTube channel, you can.
Well, no, I can't.
What? No. What I'm saying is you can see our feed right now.
Oh yeah, I can.
Okay, so I'm gonna put the person who is currently the top of the Billboard 100 artists right now.
But let's Kendrick Lamar. I'm sawing somebody's head off.
Okay, well, don't do that.
Who's that?
That's Kendrick Lamar.
See this cup?
Apparently, number 2 is SZA. I literally never even heard of SZA before that. Before
You
that
are
show.
not disrespecting SZA right now, but you are praising Kendrick Lamar.
I don't know SZA. I don't know, and I didn't think she was like all that.
SZA was better than Lamar in the halftime show. If you want to talk about it.
Wait, what? She had one song. Like, what do you mean
Exactly.
she was better?
It was better than Kendrick Lamar's song. The only time Kendrick Lamar actually made me laugh was when he dissed Drake.
It's not about making you laugh. That's not the only thing that matters.
I understand that, but even the songs, like, they just didn't flow well, dude. Like, they weren't catchy. They weren't flowing well. He was on top of a car. Like, why is he on top of a car for?
Why not?
You drive cars.
Okay.
You're not Mac McClung.
I think you're Dream Theater. What?
What happened?
Dream Theater is number 23 on this list of Billboard top. Like, Dream Theater, are they even still, like, Mike Portnoy? Are they even? Didn't they break up? They're a prog rock band that, like, exactly. You don't know who they are. Why are they the number 23 on the Billboard chart?
I don't know.
Like, I really like Dream Theater, but I've never thought of Dream Theater as being like a super popular band.
Well, they have Kendrick Lamar number 1. Where's Benson Boone at?
Look, dude, this is the Billboard. This is just objectively who's selling right now. It's not about your feelings.
Where's Benson Boone at?
I haven't seen him on here. Drake's number 25.
Of course he is.
Metallica's number. How is Metallica number? When's the last time Metallica released any music?
When was the last time I even knew who that was?
You don't. Hold on. What? What did you just say?
I don't even know who that is.
You don't know who Metallica is?
No.
Good God. How do you not know who Metallica is?
I don't know. I don't know.
That'd be like me saying I don't know who Bruno Mars is. Metallica is like Metallica transcends. Metallica's like a metal band, but they transcend like popularity. Like they're not they aren't popular on the same level of other metal bands. Like Metallica has been maybe not as much now, but for the longest time, Metallica has been like the most famous band in the entire world.
Not ringing the bell.
How the fuck? How the fuck do you not know who Metallica is? That's insane.
I don't know.
Like
when did they retire?
You never heard like Enter Sandman? Like exit light. Enter. No. How the fuck? God, does New Orleans exist in a separate dimension? Like Metallica, I don't know if I've gone a week in my entire life without hearing Metallica somewhere.
Okay, okay, buddy.
I'm 32 years old, and I legitimately don't think I've gone a whole week my entire life without hearing Metallica on some fucking speaker somewhere.
No, that's a lie.
No, I'm totally fucking serious. They're constantly every rock radio station on the planet plays Metallica like 5 times a second.
So you remember what you were doing the first week you were on Earth?
Okay, well I'm taking a bit of a creative bet here, but I'm making a point that I mean I'm legitimately thinking back as far back as I can think, and I can't think of a single time that I haven't been actively aware of Metallica.
Well, technically, if you're thinking about the last time you heard blah 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 blah, blah then
That's not
technically.
that's not how that
Well,
works.
no, I be calling education.
But
Okay,
my point is they haven't come out with anything since like 2023. So how are they currently this high on the Billboard?
I don't know what that is. If they're not,
You don't know what the Billboard is?
Rays.
You don't know what the
What?
Billboard is?
I don't know who is.
The Billboard.
The Billboard. Yeah, I know what the Billboard
Yeah,
is.
that's what I'm talking about. Metallica's like number 29 on the Billboard, and I'm like, how are they that high? Like they haven't come out with
I don't
anything in
know
like
what that
2
is.
years.
I think I made it clear now that I don't know who that is.
Ed Sheeran's like number 47.
Ed Sheeran should be higher.
He should be.
Higher than McCall.
I'm about to quit this show.
Why?
You don't know, like I don't know if I can like morally be on a show with somebody who doesn't actually know who Metallica is. Like that my brain honestly hurts that you don't know who Metallica is.
Right, it's like, bro, do you know who Madison Rays is?
That's not even comparable, I promise you. It's not because
Okay,
I
do you
like
know-
Metallica. That's not the point. Like I do like Metallica, but it's not the point. It's not about whether I like them or not. It's about how fucking huge.
Okay, so why
That'd be
this
like
much?
that'd be like you saying, you know, you don't know who. Oh fuck, who's. That'd be like you saying you don't know who Lady Gaga is. Like Metallica's that big. That'd
Well,
almost
she
be
was that
that
big
almost
already.
be like you saying you don't know who Michael Jackson is, except Metallica's not dead.
What? What? Bro, everybody knows who Michael Jackson
Exactly.
is.
Everybody knows who Metallica is. How do you not know Metallica?
Well, I know.
How?
Because
That's hurting my brain so much right now that you don't know who Metallica is. That's insane.
I have a specific brand of music that I listen to,
It's
and if you
not
fall out of
about
line, then
it's not about what music you listen to. Metallica, everybody, you don't have to like Metallica or even listen to Metallica to know who they are.
well, I don't know what to tell you.
Okay.
Get Murphy, maybe he'll know.
Murphy wouldn't know who Metallica is, but Murphy doesn't know who anybody is. Like Murphy's first of all, Murphy's 10, and Murphy's also not really like up on most things.
Does he know who you are?
Well, he knows who I am, and he knows I have a YouTube channel, and he loves bragging to his friends about my YouTube channel. Which I think is pretty cool. But he doesn't know any musical artists. Like I don't think I could like. I mean, like Weird Al is voicing a character on one of his shows. He doesn't know Weird Al. He doesn't know any musical artists at all. He doesn't know. He knows some YouTubers, and that's about it.
That's nice.
Like he's like Murphy's a bad. But my daughter knows who Metallica is. My daughter's just a couple years older than you.
Good for her.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Does she like Metallica?
Yeah, she likes Metallica.
Okay, good for her.
Now she's also a lot more into like. Well, I don't know.
You said she lives in Philadelphia?
No, she lives in Michigan. My sister lives in Philadelphia.
Oh. Mm.
Okay. Well, anyway, I'm done looking through this. We have been going for long enough at this point. We've been going for two fucking no. We've been going. Does that say 3 hours? There's no way.
That was 2 hours.
No, because it's 11 o'clock and we started around 9, so it's been about 2 hours, which is still probably too long. We don't need to go for 2 damn hours, but I did kind of feel like
help the fact that I keep blabbing about Metallica.
I, that hurts my brain. That honestly, the fact that you don't understand how much that hurts my brain hurts my brain. Like I'm just in this stuck in this endless cycle, and honestly, I need to end this. I need to end this podcast right now because I'm getting into this infinite loop of just being floored that you don't know who Metallica is, and it's hurting my brain more and more and more the more I think about it. So I need to go play fucking Skyrim or something. Okay.
Okay. Well, before we sign off, do you know what we're doing next week?
I have no idea.
Okay. That's if
I,
we're even doing the show next week.
I don't know. I don't know when. But I don't have necessarily a topic in mind. If there's anybody watching right now, which I don't think there is, but if there's anybody watching right now, if you have any ideas, let us know. That'll be our next show. But
Fun fact: the Saints have hired everybody except the defensive coordinator.
Yeah. Did Lou Anarumo get hired by anybody?
What?
Did Lou Anarumo get hired by anybody?
For the Colts.
Ah, okay. Yeah.
But yeah, the Saints, fun fact, guess who they're trying to get to be the defensive coordinator after Joe Woods left?
Who's that?
Brandon Staley.
That's pretty good, honestly.
Yeah, I mean, as long as Kellen Moore doesn't go anywhere anytime soon, and then we promote Brandon Staley, I think we should be fine.
Yeah, now hold on a minute. Joe Woods was your defensive coordinator?
For 2 years.
I'm so sorry.
I mean, he did fine.
I mean, yeah, I guess, but he was.
I mean, he wasn't calling plays for like the second half of last season.
I've never thought that Joe Woods is. I've always thought Joe Woods was pretty overrated personally, like as a coach in general.
I mean, Dennis Allen was our defensive play caller, so like Joe Woods wasn't even calling the plays for real. Then Dennis Allen got fired, and then Joe Woods actually did a solid job. I
think one of the things that I think I've heard more than like one of the most constant things I think I heard on the Battle of Ohio podcast was Thomas begging for Joe Woods to get fired.
I mean, I'm not gonna lie. When Joe Woods went to the Raiders, I was like, okay, who's gonna be our DC? Because like it's like I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know he went to the Raiders. I'm not gonna. I thought Joe Woods was still our DC, but then I was looking and people were talking about Brandon Staley and the guy from Minnesota and the guy from Philadelphia, and I'm like,
dude, Brandon Staley could be a really good fit with Kellen Moore. That would be. I don't know if that's who you guys are actually looking at, but Brandon Staley and Kellen Moore. Like, I mean, if you have the right players, that could be a dangerous combination.
Fun fact: Kellen Moore worked under Brandon Staley.
I was actually kind of hoping that maybe we could get Brandon Staley here in Cincinnati, but I totally get why we went with Al Golden. That makes sense to me.
But yeah, because in 2022, Staley was the head coach and Moore was the offensive coordinator for the Chargers.
Yep. But
so, I mean, they clearly know each other.
Anyway, that's I think that's gonna do it for tonight. So
yeah.
Yeah. Let me switch back to the thing. For those of y'all who didn't check earlier, I made some new graphics for this show, and in particular, we got a new logo now. It's a little more complicated than I wanted. Usually, I like to do more minimalistic logos, but I just couldn't really think of anything for this show that made any sense. So, yeah. If you got any suggestions, let me know. But yeah, beyond that, I'll leave y'all as always with a hoo-day.
Who dat?